Hello everyone, it's Della DuLac. Today I'm going to share with you some cards that I made with this beautiful Wildflower Birthday specialty paper pack from Stampin' Up. This is retired now, but I'm sure a lot of you still have this. I still have a half a pack right here that I haven't used yet, and all of the cards that I'm going to show you in a few minutes. So first let's see the paper. This is beautiful, fun paper. So this one you would just cut apart. So this one you would probably make this cut first, and then you can make these cuts here and just cut all of these pieces apart. You can, of course, use the back sides as well. But with all of these beautiful pieces on the front, I did not use any of those back pieces. I just wanted all of these fun ones. So let's just look at some of the paper first. So there's one of each of these still left that I haven't used. Get all of these, just a little snippet, and then I'll show you the back sides as well. Really pretty, fun little cakes and flowers, some little stripes, and they all have some gold foiling on them on this side. And then you flip it over and see this side, and you've just got some little prints. This one's really fun. I love the stripes. So back to this side. So those are all of the papers, and then we have all of these beautiful die-cut flowers and cakes and all these little pieces that you can add to your cards. And I will show you all of my cards that I did with this. Like I said, I still have this half a pack that I can make even more cards with. I love the value that you can get from these. So I'm going to come back to this one. I'll refer to this as I'm going through these. So this first little stack here are some cards that I did with these pieces. So this one here is this card, and I just layered that up on some background, or some of the pinks. When you have your card pack, so on the back of the package it will tell you some of the colors that they're in here. So blueberry bushel, old olive, peach pie, pool party, pretty in pink, soft seafoam, and of course the gold foiling. And then I've used a few other colors that I think go well together. So this one here, and then add just a little bit. I didn't do a whole lot to this. All I did was mat it with some pink paper, and then I put the whole thing on with some dimensionals, added just a little bit of twine, and then of course just some little pieces on the inside for this one. And this here. So a couple of the stamp sets that I combined with this were With You in Mind and Simply Said. Great sets to have on hand. I love having different sizes of and different fonts to use with my cards. So those are some of the ones that I used. So this one here, I just stamped directly on this piece right here. And then I've added, I know this is an old punch, but some of you may still have it. Love the balloon punch, especially with cards like this. And then you can just pull out a few of the colors to punch those out. If you don't have that balloon punch, you can make balloons with a circle punch too. Super cute. Just do your circle punch and then just a little bit of that leftover paper from when you punch them out to make that little bottom part of the balloon. And then just taking a little bit of a white chalk marker to add those highlights. Very easy to do balloons. But I have used this punch quite a bit with this pack. So, and of course a little balloon on the inside. Always have to have something on the inside. And then these tags up here, you can cut these apart and use them separately. You can actually use them for a tag if you want. You will have that flower part on the back, so if you actually want to use it for a tag, add a little white piece of cardstock so you can write to, from on them and just punch your hole. This one I didn't punch a hole, I just added a little ribbon where a hole might be. Use some of the background papers. I cut, so this is the back side of this paper, so I cut it in half and just flipped one over. I've done that quite a bit so you can see both sides of your beautiful paper. Again, here's another tag, similar thing, and then just adding some greetings, a little bit of that paper on the inside, Now this one, I took this middle panel, I did not cut apart, I folded it so you could have a fun little pull-out fold on the front, and then still open your card, and just added a whole bunch of fun little balloons, and then you've got the gold one on the inside. Super cute, kind of fun. And then we've got some more here. So these are just some of the next ones are just either using the, I think I will, oh, so let's slide these papers over so you can see the, oops, one more. Slide that over, and then we can see this too. So some of these cards, so I've added just some little flowers, some of the little gold leafing, and then just took some of my leftover paper strips and kind of piled that up or layered that up, again with a little strip on the inside. Great way to use up all those little strips. And then I've got another stack here. So this one is one of the cake punch out pieces. Just layered that up with some of the paper. Some paper on the inside. Sometimes when I have these really light color, this is the soft seafoam, when I have a light colored card base, I don't always put a white piece of paper on the inside because you can still write on this and it's very cute. And still legible, of course. But a lot of the times I will add that white background piece on the inside. And then I also use, you can kind of see the balloon is sparkly. So Wink Stella is always a great thing too to have on hand if you want something to just add a little bit of pizzazz super quick. So this one here, I use one of the balloons from this sheet. Let's move that over a little more. So this balloon, and then I used this little garland banner piece here, but I've cut it because it was too long to use this way. If I had done the card this way, then it would have been just fine going this way. You can see there, with just a little cut off. So I cut to this piece here, right around here, put that on, and then just added another little piece there. Great way to use all of that up. And then this one again, just using, you know, a little cupcake, some sprinkled dots, gems, anything that you have on hand, some Wink Stella on the cupcake, just layering these up like that. Lots of fun layers. And cut this paper here. I trimmed just a tiny bit more off so I can spread those two pieces apart. This is the back of this paper, so I flipped that over, and then I can see just a little bit of the blueberry bushel base card in there, and some more sprinkles or little gems. And then the balloon, so this one here, I took two of those pieces of paper, flipped one over, and then cut them at a diagonal, and then I can use, so this one was the other side of this paper, and these two were the other side. So I just split those apart. Same layout, but a little bit different look. So I've got the big balloon cutout piece from this paper, and then I used my punch to just add a couple of balloons for this one. And then I have the other little piece of that paper strip for the inside, and then flip that one over. So similar layouts, but that's how I used that paper. And this one, I love the little checked too. So this is one of the tags from here. So these you'll find that I've done on a few other cards. Layered up some of the fun little flowers and leaves. Really cute. And now this one's just a slightly different cut. So it's the same fold, and then I took one of the panels that I cut. I cut it, I don't remember the dimensions, but it doesn't really matter. You can do this with anything. So I trimmed it, put it on my card, and then cut my card base to match it so it had a nice little border, and then use this strip that I cut off here. So then you can open those up. I did the same thing with this one, so you can see this one I did just a little bit less, so it doesn't matter the size that you cut it. Put that on here, cut my card off so you could see the little bit underneath when you open it, or even before when you open it. Similar thing. And then just added some more of those fun balloons. Lots of fun ways to use this. And then this one I used an embossing folder. So I've got this beautiful bouquet maybe of flowers, and I wanted that to pop a little bit, so I added that on some pink paper with that's embossed, adding some fun texture. One of the tiny little flowers, some of these here, these are great to just add as a little piece on the inside. And use this piece up here, right here, with some more backgrounds, just layering them up. It's just fun to sit and play. And here's that gold banner that I used here with one of the cupcakes. Very fun pack to play with. I have another little stack here to show you. So a lot of these now are just using up some of my paper. So I've used one sheet of this already, and now I'm just using up some of my paper, adding some strips of cardstock colors. I had a couple more of these little flowers left over, so just added that on top of my tag, some ribbon. Great way to use up the whole thing. This one I tore the paper and flipped it over and then added just a little bit of cardstock. Oops. Some more on the inside. So similar layouts now with these. This one I didn't tear, I just cut it and then flipped it over. And the other thing, where is that? Aha, found it. So the other thing that I used for my greetings, these are great to have on hand as well. So these here, the Greetings for All Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. This is a great one to have. Just grab this and you have a ton of greetings right here. Some in black with white letters, and then others that are white with black letters. So I just pulled out some of these on a few of them. Great little pack. And again, I used the stamp set here. This time I actually used the little cupcake stamp on the front. It is the photopolymer stamps. I guess the cupcake is still on the block, but what I did is I used my markers to color half of it because they're together on the same block. So I colored it with my marker, breathed on it to moisten the ink, and then stamped to get that. Same thing with the birthday. Did the little bit for the blue and the happy, and that's how I did that one. And again with a little cupcake on the inside. So these are similar, but I've cut this paper this direction, cut these two here, flip them over so you could see a little bit of that back, but same layout. There we go. And then this one here is just a whole piece of that paper. Added some ribbon, using up all that paper. No waste. I love that. So these are my beautiful cards that I did with this paper pack. I hope that inspires you and you have this one at home. And some of these cards designs are great that you can use with any of your DSP. And get out your DSP and use that up. Have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and click that bell button so you don't miss a video. See you next time.